It's very important discovery. It allows you to actually measure the vibration and frequency of everything. People, events, books, teachings, places, whatever. Everything has a vibration, lower or higher. And lower vibration are destructive. Lower vibration are detrimental until 200 on this scale.
Alex, thank you so much for joining me on the show today. I'm very excited to hear your story because, as we know, I did a session with you by accident, but I don't think anything's an accident. I actually think what you do is incredible. It's something more people need to know about, and I don't want to give it away. So I'm going to let you share, first of all, what is it that you do, and then what got you into it?
Okay. Thank you, Natasha, for having me. It's a privilege to be on your show. And yes, it was not accident that it happened that we did a consultation as if you were interested in my services and you could firsthand experience what I do. And it's about experience. We could be talking about it for hundreds of years or reading books. But the most important thing is to experience, to really know about other realities or deeper realities or root causes of the problems that we may have in life. So what I do, I assist people to connect with their higher selves using only my voice. No plant medicine, no external things needed, over Zoom, worldwide. And people enter into a natural state, expanded state of consciousness, which is called theta brainwave, theta brainwave state. And it's deep meditation. You can call it by many labels. What is it? And different cultures call it, shamanic journeying or, quantum healing or hypnosis. But I like to call it deep meditation, guided deep meditation. In this state, you are able to remember everything from your current life, from other lives. You can scan your body in a spiritual way, energetical way. You are able to see or perceive whatever is wrong in your system. And the higher self during the session is guiding us. Your higher self is guiding us to go to a specific time and place to heal and balance whatever is causing any problems you may have. So the problems people have are physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. All of these symptoms that people experience, they have causes or origins. Usually they are not very obvious. They may be in other lifetimes, it may be some trauma from the childhood. People usually don't remember them. And so this is basically what I do. I allow people to heal themselves with their higher self. I connect them, and it's a wonderful journey. The person experiences everything in first hand. They have emotions, they have very strong experience, very profound experience changing their life.
So I know I experienced it myself. So for me, it was quite interesting because I was expecting you know, almost like when you go to a psychic and they channel, it wasn't anything like that. It was just basically connect with your own self and trust whatever comes up. What are the kind of people that would need this kind of healing? Who are the kind of people that mainly come to see you, and who should come to see you?
Well, every practitioner of such things is different and have different role, different abilities. 80% of my clients are healers that are stuck. Healers or spiritual practitioners that don't believe themselves, don't trust themselves. There is some kind of blockage, or they are wounded and they cannot enter into their full power. And actually, people who come to me are arranged by the higher selves. It's not like a human part can just create a session. It's always initiative of a higher self, of the human part. Let's maybe describe what is higher self and what is the human part. The basic understanding is that, an experience is that we are spirit souls, sparks of God, sparks of love, God's source of everything. And we have human experience. We have human body, we have human mind, and we are here to expand, become wiser, stronger as a soul, because it's a very tough place. And the whole soul cannot enter into the human vessel, because human vessel is very dense, very low vibration, so we only come as a part of our total self, let's say 10%, 15%, and the rest of us is the higher self, outside of time and space. And this higher self, from this perspective, they know everything about our so-called past, so-called future, or the plans for the life, purpose of the life, lessons. And they know exactly what is happening, what is blocking us, what is creating all these unpleasant symptoms we may experience. And this higher self is talking to us as intuition. Some people have stronger connection with intuition. It depends on their level of consciousness. And some people have very poor connection with the intuition. Also, it's other type of consciousness. So it's not like we have to go to another galaxy to meet with the higher self. We are always connected. But unfortunately, we have this very loud human mind, egoic human mind, which is very busy, very talkative, full of fear and, shame and criticism about ourselves and others. It's a useful tool, but as a pet or servant, and not as a master or guide, as people are treating the human mind. First, they don't know that they are not their human mind. They think, I am my human mind. So the first step is to understand you are not your human mind. You are not this part that is always fearful, criticizing, shame, have shame or guilt, negative talk within. It's not you, it is your mind. And you can experience this. This is not like a dogma. You can experience this through regular meditation. And there are, again, a subject of meditation is vast. Many different types and so on. So, and the other part of your question was that who can have the session? Everybody can have a session. I had even people who were alcoholics, drug addicts, actively now, and we could connect. We could connect with the body, with the at least ancestors, at least some family member that passed, that was on the higher vibration. They could connect. And it was very healing, very giving clarity for a person. And of course, it's a challenge for a person to overcome it. And the experience, the session, gave them the tools, gave them the clarity, healing to continue, to come back as a journey, come back to the balance. And because the higher self is arranging the sessions, they told me, actually in my session, when I did my session, they told me that we will be arranging the clients for you. You just need to be a little visible, like that you are doing this. And this is what is happening for several years, like this. I need to be just visible somewhere, and people just tell me, you know, like, I don't know how I found you. I don't know how I find you, and I had this very strong feeling that I need to contact you, you know. I was looking for somebody like you, and you just pop up. They say things like this. So I get clients by synchronicities. It's magical. It's magical work, really. Magical, miraculous. But when you have miracles every day, it's become a norm. But for other people, it's miraculous. How it works. After hundreds and hundreds of sessions, when I speak actually with the higher selves, one part of the session is that the person experiences different situations from other lives, current life, so they can heal, change the context, and just let go of whatever is holding them back. And in the second part of my session, I'm actually asking the higher self to talk with me, so the person is channeling their higher self. And the person is preparing the questions about anything to their higher self, and I ask on behalf of the person the questions. So in any case, in every session, I ask the higher self the usual question: why did you arrange the session? Why this person had to have a session? And they usually say, oh, she needed to be reassured that she's on the right path, or he needed to be healed from that so he can do his mission, or he needed to understand this and that, or something like this. Never the higher self told us that, oh, I didn't arrange the session, it was accident. It was always a plan of the higher self. It could even be pre-planned before the human life. I had some higher self told me that it was part of the life plan, that they will meet me to have a session to awaken them, activate them. So the higher self and me, we are like a team to do whatever is necessary. So the person steps into their full power, potential, health, and start new, bright chapter of their lives.
I have a lot of questions, but first let's go back to how you got started. What got you into this kind of modality?
Mm-hmm. Well, if we understand that nothing is accident, that we plan our lives, and I'm looking back on my life, it was pre-planned, and my higher self also told me that it was like a step-by-step development. So what I am doing now started when I was born. All the things that happened to in my life was a step-by-step process to prepare me for that, because it's very energetically demanding to do the session. So you need to have, as a practitioner, you need to have very clean system without any blockages, energetical blockages, and you have to be very healthy physically. And now I understand why all these things happen in my life. So since I was a teenager, I was interested in metaphysics, in out-of-body experiences, reincarnation, even though nobody around me was interested in such things. And when I was 18, I joined ashram of Bhakti Yoga. It's ancient discipline of yoga of the heart, yoga of love. to the source of everything. So this Bhakti Yoga is very disciplined, regular practice of meditation, contemplation, study of spiritual topics. So I was doing it and I was also teaching Bhakti Yoga in different countries. I was traveling around Europe in different countries, teaching people how to meditate, how to start the spiritual life in a very easy way. So I was doing it 25 years. 25 years, and then I was guided to go to a completely different place, Canary Islands, which is like Florida, but without alligators and hurricanes. It's subtropical islands near Africa, but in Spain. It's still belonging to Spain. So it's a very special place. And there is a second biggest volcano in the world. And I connect with this power of this volcano, and I am able to do this work. And the atmosphere here is very helpful to do this work. I think I would not be able to do this work in Poland, or the places where it's very cold, very dark. You need to have a lot of sun, a lot of nature. I feel that everything was perfectly planned, that I needed to move here, and I was guided to learn about working one-on-one. From before I was working in groups, teaching people in groups, meditation and yoga, and now I'm therapist one-on-one. So now my body has 48 years, and I just surrender to the process. I don't know what I will be doing in 5 years, 10 years, or maybe I will be doing it till the end, or I will be starting some school teaching people how to do this, because I know that the world needs more healers. There are so many people with unexplained chronic conditions, and nothing works because the root cause or origin is spiritual or energetical. It will not be solved or healed by chemicals. So this is the story.
Wow. So, okay, so let's go back to where you started studying in the ashram, because I've seen that a lot of people, especially people that do meditation or astral travel, you need to have focus and you need to have discipline. You cannot do something if you're not able to still the mind, and I think that's the starting point. And again, that connects back to being able to connect to your higher self, because your higher self is like that quiet voice in the back that only speaks when you shut up. Then it's like, okay, are you done now? Let's communicate. And a lot of people don't realize that that voice is always there. They just don't know how to discern. They think that people are psychic because they're hearing a voice, but it might not be an actual voice outside of you. It might be the same voice, but it's more of a feeling voice. Mm-hmm. And that's something I think you're born with. You'd be born a healer. So anybody that's a healer would be resonating with you, I suppose, at that level. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is there anything that you could suggest to people to hone in on their discipline and their focus?
First, the first step is to have intent, to want to be enlightened, to achieve enlightenment. This is the first step. If you are not interested in being enlightened, you will not be motivated. And I would suggest to find a group. Like in AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, or all this, self-help groups. The power of the group is carrying you up at the beginning when you don't have motivation yourself. If you are not born with this karma to become healer or monk, or you need to work for that. So join some reputable group of meditation or mindfulness or whatever that you feel is good for you. I learned in my work that everybody is different, everybody has different history, abilities, affinity. So there is no one meditation for everybody. There is no one path for anybody. That's why we have intuition, that's why we have the higher self. So when you join the group, feel. Don't get lost in glamour. Don't get lost in, how many people are there and so on. Don't get lost in externals. Feel how you feel after being there. Is it helpful for you? Or it creates more, let's say, guilt or fear or pride. So it's difficult to give a general, in my work I know that, every person is so unique. And even the higher self, every person gets different, let's say about a meditation. Every higher self gives every person different type of meditation. For some, for example, it was a meditation with listening to the running water, like by a fountain of running water and listen to it, because the person had affinity to water. For another person was a meditation about the crown chakra, bringing the energy to crown chakra and meditate like this. But it's not safe for everybody. For other person was, for example, running in the nature. Go and do jogging in the nature for half hour and just be. This is meditation for the person. So that's why we have the intuition, because your intuition is a perfect guide. So what you can do is just calm down your mind, and the best time to calm down your mind is in the morning, before the sunrise, before you start your work and all the busy things. Just create 15 minutes of calmness, that you just go deeper than the thinkingness. Try to connect, have the intention to connect. And it's very easy to connect with intuition, higher self during morning hours. The simplest meditation for the beginner is close your eyes and just look behind the eyes. Whatever is happening there, some people have like a dots of light moving. Some people have some kind of patterns moving. Focus on the patterns. And you will go deeper and deeper into the altered state, and the mind will slow down, and then you can connect with the intuition. Good to have, for example, one question before you start such meditation. Just prepare one question for your higher self, and your higher self knows you're thinking, and they will answer you during the meditation, or will show you something that will help you in the question.
Yeah, I really like that, because a lot of people think they must just sit quietly, close their eyes, and then wait for the time to go by. But, you're in the perfect space to actually get some value out of it. You can use that time for other things as well, whether it's manifesting or making peace or letting go with some pain that's happened. So, yeah. All right, so in an ashram, what is it that they do? I mean, I'm just curious. So do they wake you up at 5 in the morning and you have certain, I'm just asking, that you have certain roles to do? And because most people don't go to an ashram. Most people, they will live their life and think about it and think you're collecting water from a hole every morning, and that's your life. Just tell us a little bit. Are you allowed to share, first of all? Are you allowed to share that?
Okay, so every ashram is different because there are different ashram in different paths. The ashram of Buddhist, the temple of Buddhism will be different than the ashram of any type of yoga. There are many types of yoga, or different ashram of So I know about yogic or Vedic culture ashram, which is, yes, as a brahmachari or somebody who is on the, beginner, there is morning program of meditation, different types of meditation, studying since 5:30 till 8:30. There was a breakfast, and then all the responsibilities with maintaining the ashram or some projects of helping people. Very great variety of how we can help people. So, for example, in Poland, it was, for example, cooking food and distributing for people who have problems with getting food during the winter, for example, for homeless and so on. So this is one of the many projects we worked. So it's work during the day, and then in the evening also another meditation program with study. So I noticed that I grew spiritually very quickly in this environment, in this practice. So but it's not necessary for everybody. It happened that I had to do this. But everybody has different path. Most people will not be able to go to ashram.
Yeah.
So you can create ashram in your own life. You can have. So this meditation that I talked to you about is like a beginning. It's a beginning. Then your higher self will guide you. What is the better way to the other steps? Many times during the sessions, the higher self tells the person that for example, I had a session now with a person from Canada. He's a psychologist, and he's for 10 years he's practicing transcendental meditation. He bought the program and has secret mantra, and the higher self told him that you outgrew this. Now is the time for another practice of higher vibration that will carry you higher. Because there is if you are aware of the Dr. Hawkins, David Hawkins research of different...
the vibrational states, the energy frequencies of matter, But you feel free to share. There may be some people who don't know about it.
It's very important discovery. It allows you to actually measure the vibration and frequency of everything. People, events, books, teachings, places, whatever. Everything has a vibration, lower or higher. And lower vibration are destructive. Lower vibration are detrimental until 200 on this scale. Over 200 are beneficial and constructive. So I see it in myself, in my work, in my life, how you can progress. And it's very wonderful research. It explains a lot why, for example, people... It doesn't mean that lower vibration are bad or higher vibration are good. It's not about judgment at all. Everything is needed in the creation. The low vibration are for the training purposes.
Yeah.
Without challenges, we would not grow. So the so-called lower vibrations are needed so we can grow through challenges. So, when you read about this scale of consciousness, map of consciousness, everything becomes very clear that if somebody has low vibration, they cannot actually physically understand the higher vibration teachings. It's not possible. They are too much apart. So that's why there are so many paths in the world of development. Somebody on the level, let's say 100, the person will not understand the teaching of 400, but he will understand, or she, the teaching of 200. That will be, for example, about getting stuff, being motivated to work hard, to be successful materially, you know? And this is progress, because they are in the state of, let's say, fear. They are fearful. And they meet a motivational speaker who speaks to them about, you need to do this, you need to do that, you know, don't be afraid, take risk. And when they follow him or her, they will make progress into higher dimensions. So everything is needed.
Right. Yeah, I see it even with the AA. A lot of people, it helps them, but to say I'm an alcoholic for the rest of your life is actually stunting your growth. You want to be able to say, I don't choose to be a label anymore, because I cannot grow if I stay at that level. Have you measured the consciousness of transcendental meditation or not? Or the frequency?
Well, probably, but you know, there are so many things that sometimes I calibrate. In the books of Dr. Hawkins, there is a book called Truth versus Falsehood, and he calibrated so many different paths, so many different scriptures, so many different teachers that are on the high vibration. So for sure you will find somebody there, you know, some path or that will be suitable for you. You know, you need. So for example, let's say you will find that one teacher has a calibration of 800, which is very high. But it may be not suitable for you because it will be too much removed from your state currently. So you will not be able to follow. So it's about feeling, you know, feel, don't think, feel about the teacher or teaching or scripture, what feels good. So transcendental meditation, well, I can calibrate it now.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Because as you say, there's nothing bad about it. It's an amazing form of meditation. Don't they teach that to the prisoners as well?
Yeah.
And they have a program with
about 300, so it's positive. So there are two important levels on the scale of consciousness, and one is 200. All below it is destructive, detrimental. All above it is positive, nourishing the life. And there is another one, 500. This is the level of love between reason, logic, and love, and non-linear domain, spiritual domain. So most of the logic and science,
scientists,
Newtonian paradigm, all of them are until 499, which is Einstein, for example. Einstein couldn't make this jump to non-linear that you could not measure, you know? He couldn't, so it's not easy to make this jump into non-linear, that quantum physics, quantum mechanics, that everything is you cannot describe, you cannot measure, everything is potential, and intention and consciousness create in this potentiality, making actuality. So this is very difficult for people to get into because they are using the mind. When you stop using the mind and start using your soul mind or the higher self, then you will be able to understand it.
Yeah, it's the difference between quantum physics and Newtonian physics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I see that a lot, like with Greg Braden. He had that point where science couldn't take him any further, and he had to choose, do I want to stick with science, or do I go the spiritual route? And I mean, he obviously did. So you can talk about all these things that these amazing masters have done. But a lot of people are waking up now, and they're starting to question, which is why I think, like, for some people, you've been on this path for a long time, but for some, they are on the path, but they just don't know where to go. And, you know, as you say, there's something for everybody. So, yeah, that's why I was just asking about the meditation and that. All right, so if you were doing a session with somebody, and I know you did one with me, so that was quite interesting, because I know I went pretty deep, pretty fast, but I've been doing this quite regularly, so it's easy for me. Just explain the process that somebody would go through, what you did with me, because that was quite profound. And I've been thinking about it for quite a while now. It's just been on my mind. And a lot of other stuff has come up, even though I'm not in that theta brainwave state. It's like I've connected with it now, and I'm just getting the downloads. But yeah, how does your session work? Yeah.
Well, first I meet with a person for a free half-hour consultation, like I did with you. Okay? So during this consultation, we usually talk. But if somebody has a suspicion that there is external energy connected that is detrimental, then we do also such experience, like a very quick guided meditation, and we scan for anything detrimental in their system. Then, after the person knows me and they feel good about me, then the person is booking the full session, and full session is about 5 hours, during which the first half is experiences from this life, other lives that needs to be healed, any trauma, any shocks, any repeating patterns that are still going on. And then in the second part, we are talking with the higher self. And there are 5 groups. There are 5 groups of root causes that I discovered. So the first is the past life, traumas and, sudden deaths that influence our current lifetime. Second is toxic emotional energy. So, for example, we are suppressing anger, we are suppressing fear, and this energy doesn't go somewhere, it's inside us, and it's toxic. Sooner or later, it will just burst, and it will affect your body in different ways. Some of them are anger and cancer, or other chronic diseases that are unexplained and not cured. Usually it's from suppressed emotional energies. Then the first group is soul fragmentation. During traumas, we fragment our soul. It's called, in psychology, it's called disassociation. It's so shocking, the experience is so shocking that the soul leaves the body, but the little part of the soul stays in the body to sustain the body alive during the trauma, during the, let's say, sexual abuse of the child. And then after the event is done, the soul comes back, but the fragment stays in the time, is frozen in time during the abuse. And the soul continues in time, but it's not full anymore. So we had a lot of trauma in this life, other lives. We are so fragmented that we are, instead of 100%, we are 30%. And obviously, without this power, without creativity, without trust, without lovingness, we cannot do much. So in shamanism, it's called soul retrieval. In psychiatry, it's called ego states, that you work with ego states to heal them and bring them back to the full consciousness. But it's the same practice. And the person is participating in it. So it's very emotional. Imagine that you go in time and space to the time where you are 5 years old and you were, for example, molested by a brother, or let's say. And this small girl is so sad, so fearful, and you come there in this astral dimension outside of time and space, and you calm her down. You tell her you are from the future, that she will survive this, and you calm her down, tell her, and the person is doing this in the deep trance, calm down this fragment of her. And then the adult version asks the child version to come back to my heart, to come to my heart, and we will be together, continuing having adventures together. And it's very emotional usually, because the person feels this is part of me that I lost, that I forgot about. And usually they describe it as, you know, creativity, innocence that I lost. The bravery, for example, many different, you know, aspects. And it could be, you know, 5, 10 of fragments. So this is the third group. Fourth group are all kinds of curses, black magic, implants, energetical implants. And this is not only done by black art practitioners, but even a person who has strong emotions behind curse, like the usual curse, to hell with you. I wish you will be dead, for example. If somebody has normal person with enough emotional power behind these words, will create a curse on the person, on the target. And the fifth group is spirit attachments or entity attachments. And 40 to 60% of population has at least one spirit attachment they identify with. They think it's me, but it's not. And during the session, they are very surprised that they discover, for example, that this is, for example, my grandma attached to me when I was a small boy, because she wanted to hug me last time and she got stuck. She couldn't get out. And she was giving me all this, you know, loss of memory, pains, different pains, you know. So this is a big subject. This group I described is a big subject for, you know, many hours.
Yeah, absolutely. Each one on its own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, and I agree, because there are some people that say they can see the attachments. They can actually see something jumping and clinging onto the person. And if you've had it your whole life and it's on you, you don't know any better. You don't know what it feels like without. How do those people protect themselves? Because there's one thing of removing it. So now you've got rid of it. How do you stop it from happening again? You know, it's like you say, keep your body clean, but how do you keep your aura clean?
It's not only about clean, it's about not doing holes in the aura. Correct. Or not opening the aura. Also, the whole subject, but long subject. When I'm releasing the spirits from the people, I treat them as a secondary patients. I don't fight them. I treat them with kindness and love and send them to light, to home. So I converse with them and I ask them usually, how did you get attached to Johnny or Susan, which is my client? And they usually say that, oh, she was or he was angry, or she was depressed, or she or he was in the hospital in anesthesia, which makes your aura null, no aura in anesthesia. Or he or she was drinking, you know, heavily, or taking drugs. All of these things that I mentioned, they make holes in the aura or make the aura disappear. And it's very easy for any wandering spirit to attach. So spirits that didn't go to the light when the body died, they are in so-called lower astral dimension. It's very dark, cold place. They are just wandering without any goal, they are lost. And when they see any light in the human body that it's easy to attach to and hide and be safe, they will take the opportunity. And they are stuck. They cannot later get out. So this is a big subject, but how do you protect? Avoid low vibration emotions, avoid alcohol, taking drugs, anesthesia if you can. Of course, if you have accident, you cannot. But if you can, avoid anesthesia. And basically, do in the meditation every day, you do the bubble or pyramid of light around you in all directions. Every morning, every night, before you go to sleep, 2 times a day. It's very quick. It's like, it takes 50 seconds. Just imagine that you have a bubble of light around you, white bubble of light, or you have pyramid of light around you. And even better, if you want, you can put a mirrored surface on this pyramid or on this bubble. So anything sent your way that is negative will bounce back. So it's a practice. It's a practice in avoiding negativity.
Yeah. If people want to get to know more about your services, or if they want to have a session with you, where can they get hold of you?
Well, I have a website, www.clarityhypnosis.eu, like Europe, not com, Europe, EU. And there is everything. How to schedule a free consultation, how to read more about what I do. There are some video sessions that people wanted to share. Some of my clients wanted to share their sessions. So whole session is on my website too, whole sessions of how I work. You can see how I work.
Yeah, that's great.
And yeah, you can also contact me on the website, send email. I'm also on Facebook and WhatsApp. You have possibility on my website. You can click on WhatsApp or Facebook Messenger to quickly reach to me.
Great, thank you. Is there anything you would like to share that I haven't maybe asked you yet, or that you think people should know about?
Yeah, they should know about a lot of things, and they should also experience a lot of things, but everybody is in perfect space right now.
Well, I agree with you.
Everything is perfect in the creation. Everything is perfect in the creation.
Especially, even with the work I do, a lot of people think they can do it themselves. This is not something you can do to yourself. Yes, you can meditate. Yes, you can get answers. But if you're trying to go into a theta brainwave state and really access I call it the superconscious, but your higher self, if you want to get there and stay there, your mind tends to wander all over the place. It's nice to have somebody just to guide you, to keep you focused on the question you wanted an outcome for. Otherwise, you'll end up lost in there, and you might see amazing things, but you might not get the outcome you're looking for. It's just great to have that guiding hand, and that's what I find so valuable about what you do. All right, so I will post all your links on the video, and as well as your Facebook as well. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. It was great to learn more about your work, and have an awesome day. But thank you. If I need, then I'll contact you again. Maybe we can go into detail about other things, just because I find this subject fascinating. And I also want to know more about astral travel, because also near-death experiences, and that has also been my fascination. But if you can astral travel, you don't have to have a near-death. You don't have to die first.
Actually, what I do is like near-death experience, but without any trauma, any accident. The people who are describing the same things that people describe in near-death experiences.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and you do it consciously, not by mistake.
Yes, not by mistake. So some people needed such accident and near-death experience to wake up. Mm-hmm. They would not go to my session because they were not interested. But so they were like ripped away from materialism to another dimension, because it was their plan. This was plan of their life. It was not accident.
No.
This was what they wanted. They wanted to have this experience.
Yeah.
But you can have this in a very relaxed and peaceful way with me.
That would be nicer, right? You don't have to wake up with tubes down your throat and in your nose. You can just, and in a cast and covered in bandages. No, I agree. All right, well, thank you very much, and I'll chat to you soon then.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.